How's it going, you guys? AZPlow21 back again with another video here in our UFC save in WMMA 5. And here today, we've got for you UFC Fight Night, Mendes versus Swanson 2. Take a look. There is the fight card here today. There is the prelims. We're missing one prelim because somebody got injured and it was a little bit too late to find a replacement. So we're going to be without one prelim. That's not too big of a deal. We're making our way towards UFC 270, Till versus Brunson. That's going to be a great pay-per-view. 3 title fights on tap for that one. I'm super excited. I hope you guys are too. Let's go and get this one started. Mendes versus Swanson. Taking place in Missouri, our main event is CUB, Swanson, and Chad Mendes. A great card on hand for us today here in what I believe is episode 93 of our save. I'm trying to plan something pretty cool for episode 100. Yeah. We're almost there, episode 100. That'd be pretty insane. But we open up our prelims with Magomedov. Love those Magomeds. Taking on Adlan Batayev in the featherweight division. And Magomedov gets the win via split decision. Now 2-0 here in the UFC. Very good for him. Calling it a stinker was not a very good fight. You hate to see that. Moving on into the heavyweight division. Ben Sassoli taking on Yorgan De Castro. Sassoli 9-3-2, De Castro 7-1, and Sassoli actually gets the win via submission, interestingly enough. Good for him. He wants to face off with Tanner Boser next. All right, more Magomeds coming your way. Magomed Karamov taking on Aliaskhab Kisriev. Kisriev 13-1, Magomed Karamov is 30-6. I believe he's coming from PFL. He most certainly is. We always love those PFL prospects because they always go after the Russians, it seems like. The Russians and the Brazilians tend to make their way towards PFL a lot of the time. And hey, the Magomeds getting it done here today. His first UFC fight is a win over Kisriev. Love to see it. Christian the Warrior Lee taking on Lowen Tainanis. Tainanis 12-0, fighting out of one championship, facing off another alum of one championship in Christian the Warrior Lee. Won his UFC debut, and your winner in this one is the 23-year-old Christian the Warrior Lee. Love to see it. The young man wants to face Sage Northcutt. Okay, that could be really interesting, honestly. Two really young guys, you know, trying to go at it. Alex the Executioner Reyes taking on Amir Khan Adayev in the lightweight division. Adayev is the favorite. Alex Reyes has been here before. I believe this is Adayev's debut, and he loses. Alex Reyes getting it done now. A 3-fight win streak for Alex Reyes. Some lower tier opponents, but hey, a 3-fight winning streak is nothing to scoff at. Love to see that. And he's gonna go party. Congrats to Alex Reyes. I mean, hey, I would want to go party too after that. Torbjorn Madsen taking on James Nakashima in the middleweight division. Madsen is the favorite despite having a 1-1 record in the UFC. Nakashima is undefeated at 14-0. His one UFC win coming against Philip Tomchak. Let's see what happens. Torbjorn Madsen ends the undefeated streak of James Nakashima, gives him his first professional loss via knockout. He's just 7-2. Nakashima, with a lot more experience, gets his first loss here today, and he's happy that he landed a perfect punch. All right, easy Ed Ruth taking on Ross the Hitman Houston, 2 Bellator former fighters. This guy, who does he look like? He looks like somebody that I know. Anyways, 3 straight wins in Bellator. Ross Houston finds himself here. Ed Ruth, 10-3, 2 straight wins in Bellator. He finds himself here as well. Both of these guys are making their UFC debut. Who comes out on top? And it is easy Ed Ruth, giving Houston his first professional loss. You don't like to see that, but it's always interesting to see undefeated guys get their first loss in the UFC. Hey, the Bellator guys, they just keep on chugging along. Yusuf Raisov taking on Juan Archuleta, the current bantamweight champion in Bellator, but he's here in the featherweight division. He's coming off 2 straight wins in Bellator. And meanwhile, Raisov, 0-1 in the UFC. Oh, Raisov was never in Bellator, but nonetheless, Archuleta loses his first fight in the UFC to Yusuf Raisov via submission. Praises Archuleta for his skill and toughness. Boom! More Bellator fighters. What do you know? And this is a guy, Michael Chandler, who just signed like an hour ago or so with the UFC, taking on Stephen Braveheart Ray here. I believe he's 0-1 in his UFC tenure here. Stephen Ray, 8-5, coming off a win over Sarukian. Chandler is a big favorite, and he loses. I mean, you hate to see it. Michael Chandler 0-2 in his UFC tenure so far. And Stephen Ray calls out Abdurakhmanov. Darren Elkins taking on AJ McKee in our first main card fight. AJ McKee, ranked number 19, coming off a win over Zuba. Darren Elkins, ranked number 15, coming off a big win over Lance Palmer. And your winner, AJ McKee, is a huge favorite. Your winner in our first main card fight is Darren Elkins. Let's go. The veteran getting a big win over AJ McKee. Wow. Showing respect, Darren Elkins praises McKee for his skill and toughness. Darren Elkins getting a big win. Love to see those veterans get much needed wins. Rafael Assunção taking on Cody No Love Garbrandt in a fight that has already happened in real life but hasn't in this game. So we're doing it. I wonder if Assunção is going to get knocked out. He doesn't. He chokes out Cody Garbrandt. A fantastic fight. You love to see it. He was ranked number 12 and he was on a big losing streak. So this is a fight that he desperately needed. And Cody, after getting a win over Montel Jackson, is right back in the losing column. Both of these guys are kind of on really weird slippery slopes as far as their careers go. And he praises Cody. Corey Sandhagen taking on John Dodson in the bantamweight division. Top 10 is John Dodson coming off a win over Rob Font. Corey Sandhagen coming off a loss to Yadong Song. Before that, beat Dominic Cruz and Rafael Assunção. Both of these guys are in the top, 12, I should say. And Corey Sandhagen gets a big win over John Dodson via unanimous decision, improves to 15-3 in the process. All right. Edson Barbosa in the featherweight division taking on John Lineker. I believe he's making his return. Yes, he is making his return to the UFC after some time in one championship. Barbosa himself coming off a loss to Yair Rodriguez. And John Lineker, as I mentioned, was in one championship. And Edson Barbosa welcomes him back to the UFC by handing him a unanimous decision loss, his 22nd win of his career. Congratulations to Edson Barbosa. Co-main event time, Rustam Khabilov taking on Cowboy Donald Cerrone. Cerrone, number 13 in the lightweight division, had a win over Trinaldo, beat Dan Hooker, then lost to Kevin Lee. He faces off Rustam Khabilov, who, this music is a little loud, hold on. He takes on Rustam Khabilov, who is number 15 in the division, coming off a loss to Dan Hooker. Our co-main event today, and your winner, you love to see it, Cowboy Cerrone, back in the win column via TKO in round number 3. Congrats to Cowboy, and he's going to the club. Who's going to go clubbing with Cowboy Cerrone? Love to see it. All right. Chad Money Mendez in our main event taking on CUB Swanson in the featherweight division. Swanson coming off a win over Shane Burgos. Meanwhile, Chad Money Mendez coming off a win over Korean Zombie. A 3-fight winning streak, as a matter of fact, for Chad Mendez. And another win, maybe not, might get him a title shot in the near future. Our main event, let's get it started. Mark Goddard is your referee in our featherweight main event here today. Of course, we're making our way towards UFC 270, Till versus Brunson. 3 titles on the line on that pay-per-view. Those are always my favorite kind of pay-per-views, the ones with a lot of title fights on them. Love it. Left jab. Mendez can't connect with a jab. Swanson looking to strike. Swanson with a 1-2. Halfway through round number 1. Nothing really going on too much. Nothing significant. Both fighters moving in. Left jab, scores with a right hook. Mendez misses with a right hook. Swanson coming forward. Mendez hits a counter left hand. 2 left jabs. They engage in the center. Swanson with a left hand. Mendez with a good right. Uh-oh, big strike. Swanson regains himself, but he got rocked right at the end of the round. Round number 2. Swanson coming forward. Big right to the body, fails to land. Both meeting in the center. Glancing high kick lands for Swanson. Both of these guys are veterans, so they don't really have time to waste or fights to lose necessarily if they want to get a title shot. Mendes going after it. Engaging in the center. Swanson barely misses. Nothing really landing here for either guy. Left hook to the body lands for Chad Money Mendes. Counter jab. Both guys engaging in the center. Can't hit a right cross. Swanson hits a jab. End of the round coming quick. A right cross lands. Mendes lands a 1-2. Mendes hits a good right hand. Time expires after 2 rounds. And apparently it's even. 3 more rounds to go. Mendes shooting in for a takedown unsuccessfully. Right hook to the body for Swanson. 2 counter jabs. 1-2 fails to land for Money. Mendes with a leg kick. Uh-oh, big trouble. Tries to sink in a guillotine. Mendes escapes it. Uh-oh, side control. Swanson tries to get into Kimura, and he gets it! Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, your winner in the 3rd round via submission is CUB Swanson. Interesting. I mean, look at what he was doing beforehand. Beat Ricardo Lamas, beat Korean Zombie, beat Andre Feely, or no, he lost to Andre Feely, beat Shane Burgos, and now a big win over Chad Mendes. Could this potentially move Swanson into contention? We'll have to see, because Money was on a big run. Swanson praises Mendes for his skill and toughness. Whoo boy. A big fight card, and honestly a result that I did not see coming. CUB Swanson getting a big win. You love to see it. Fantastic fight from a Sunsao and Garbrandt. That's going to be our fight of the night. Any first round stoppages? Yeah, we're going to give it to Madsen. Knockout in the 1st round. And let's give it to Riceoff, getting the armbar over Archuleta. Nice profit as always for the show. Love to see it. As always, we're going to update our rankings, take a look at our emails, and everything else that we need to do before we sign off. But wow, big win there for CUB Swanson. As I mentioned, our next video is UFC 270, Till versus Brunson. Main event for the middleweight title. I'm AZPlow21. I thank you for watching my videos. Be sure to like the video down below. Subscribe to the channel. Click on the little bell in the corner so you're notified whenever my videos are uploaded. I appreciate you guys as always. We're getting super close to episode 100. Let's get it going. But yeah, big weekend this weekend in the UFC as well. Woodley versus Covington. As much as I love Tyron Woodley, I can't see a scenario where he beats Colby Covington. And I say this as a guy who doesn't love the shenanigans of Colby Covington as much as everyone else might. But he's just that good, you know. I was there live for his title fight with Usman. The person that I went with was super duper heavy going for Colby Covington. I was kind of secretly going for him too a little bit just to see the animosity that would have caused, you know. You would have definitely gained fans, but the animosity towards him would have been incredible. But yeah, Colby Covington, he's that dude. He's really good. And he was there with Usman the whole step of the way. He got stopped in the 5th round. And some judges had it, or no, not some judges, but one judge had it for Colby Covington. So very likely would have been a split decision in the end, had that gone the distance. But I'm excited to watch that fight this weekend. I've always liked, you know, Colby Covington's fights. He's always a very impressive fighter. He always pressures his opponent. He's not going to back down to anybody. But hey, Tyron Woodley, 2 straight losses. He needs something good. So hopefully he can get his shit figured out, because he needs a win desperately, especially after the crappy loss he had to Gilbert Burns. Just 10 straight rounds of him just not doing anything. I want to see something out of Tyron Woodley. Hopefully we get it this weekend. Let's go and update our rankings now. Heavyweight division is not moved. Neither is light heavyweight. At middleweight, David Branch is back in the rankings because his suspension has been lifted. He's done with that suspension. So he is number 11. Gunnar Nelson, his suspension has been lifted. So he debuts at number 23. Cowboy Cerrone is in at number 8. Love to see it. Kabalov moves down to number 17. Swanson moves all the way up to number 5. Okay. So potentially one more win, and Swanson probably gets a title shot. Zabit if he comes back, he'll get a title shot. But Swanson, I think one more win, and he'll be good. But that sucks for Mendes. One more win. If he had beaten Swanson, he was probably going to get a title shot. Elkins moves up to 14. Lineker is down to 18. AJ McKee down to 22. Bantamweight, Corey Sandhagen up to number 10. Dodson down to 12. Garbrandt down to number 17. And Asuncao up to 11. Flyweight, nothing doing. Nothing for the women other than Courtney Casey, who is back in the UFC. She's in at number 11 after she spent some time in Invicta and ended up becoming the Invicta champion, beating Reina Kubota in the process. So congratulations to her. Welcome back. And yeah, that is what is popping with the rankings. Let's see if there's anybody that we want to take a look at. Not necessarily anybody just yet. Marcin Vocic, no, I don't think so. No. Wakamatsu from One Championship. He hasn't been doing that good. No, not really looking like anybody that I want to sign. Rob Wilkinson, he used to fight in the UFC. All right, no, not necessarily. Nope, no one I want to sign. Okay, taking a look at our emails. Sisoli needs to be renewed. We'll definitely do that. He is coming off a win. So let's go ahead and do that. All right. Lubanska got an offer from KSW, but she's always looking like she's going to sign with us. AJ McKee. Always, I mean, no. Because we're at the point now where we might have to release him if he has a couple more losses. So just wanted to edit that contract renewal a little bit. Chizagayev. Oh, okay. Let's see here. This guy looks like he could be a pretty good prospect. 18-5, champion of ACA. They're trying hard to keep him, but I want him too. Chad Mendes, we're going to keep him for sure. Don't even have to look at it. We're going to keep him. Alex Reyes on a 3-fight winning streak. So we will keep him. 2 guaranteed fights for sure. Murtazaliev has completed his suspension. Bavakota. All right. All right. Oh, move that real quick. Got a couple of girls that we have to send down to Invicta after their contracts are done being renewed. And a lot of guys on the short list that I need to take off. Like Magomed. Take him off. Hager won his fight. He's 4-2-1 now. Low-level national. I mean, just for the hell of it, should we sign him? Low-level national. Fuck it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Jake Hager, get in here. Gordon Ryan. He's 1-0. Congrats to him. I don't need John Lineker on the short list. Rysov. Oh, nope. Don't want to add him. Archuleta. He is off of our short list because he's currently with us. And he lost. Nakashima. Get him off the short list. All right. That's going to do it for this episode. Of course, the next time that I see you guys will be for UFC 270 Till versus Brunson. 3 title fights on that card. It's looking to be a good one. Hope to see you guys there. As always, links are down in the description below. Follow me on Twitch, on Twitter, anything you can think of. Appreciate you guys as always. I'm AZPlow21. I'll see you guys next time.